Someone go in the back.
Yeah, give credit to Texas A&M. It's a good football team. Obviously, the slow start doomed us. Down 21-0 at the end of the first quarter, and could never make up that margin. Had a couple opportunities when we cut it to 14, but overall just didn't play well enough in really any of the three phases. 2 turnovers on offense, multiple missed throws, holding penalties defensively, third downs proved. And then sloppy play on special teams with balls inside the 20. So hats off to A&M, like I said, but can't overcome that. Before we can win a championship, we got to keep from beating ourselves. And we weren't able to do that today. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
Eli, you mentioned that you guys can't beat yourself just having to go the season high. 13 penalties for 106 yards. Just how do you factor that play, especially when you guys are kind of gaining momentum and then would have some of those plays?
Yeah, huge. I mean, we have big plays or had third down stops and had pass interference calls, had big plays, have holding penalties. I mean, at one point it was 1st and 30 or something. I mean, just can't do it. Can't do it. Got to fix it, and gotta fix it.
Is there something you saw that you think led to that?
Not that I can recall yet, but when I watch tape, I'll have a better answer for that.
You mentioned the slow start. That's been kind of the theme in SEC games throughout
Yeah.
the season. Is there any consistent threads among those 3 first quarters?
I'll have to go back and watch. That's what bye weeks are good for, Mitchell, is to go back and figure out what are the issues, how do you fix them, where do you develop, what are the issues that we got to get fixed immediately, how can we get people back healthy in the lineup. I think today, I think we had a gained first down, had a penalty, second down, and ended up throwing the interception. So penalty.
What did you see on Connor's first interception?
Just a missed throw. He looked like he was throwing the sit and lifted it a little bit, and it went into the corner's hands.
Eli, I know he's been a little banged up. Do you think any of that's kind of compromising some of those throws that just seem a little off for him?
I don't think so.
Coach, what was your message to your football team at halftime? It looked like you came out and played with a little more fire, particularly on the defensive front.
We're defined by the effort we play with on every play. And regardless of the scoreboard, regardless of what's going on, you define who you are by how hard you play, and that's the only thing we get to control. And I thought our guys fought their butt off in the second half. It didn't always go well, and we didn't still execute exactly the way we want to, but forced them to a missed field goal. Started the game off 3 and out. We went down and scored on a 97-yard, or the second half, scored on a 97-yard drive. Had some chances, but gave up a big 3rd and long on the next drive that led in a touchdown.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, what's your message to them after the game, to kind of get back where you want them to be?
Well, my message was real simple. I was proud of the second half, the way they fought and how hard they played, but before we can win a championship, we can't beat ourselves. We got a chance to get healthy through the bye week, to reevaluate who we are and then determine what we want to do for the next 5 games. We got 5 opportunities left to represent each other and represent this state, and we really got to go back to work to improve, and we'll do that starting on Tuesday.
I think at the end of the second quarter, you guys got the ball back with a minute 30 left.
Yeah.
Can you take us through that sort of play calling sequence?
Yeah, we had the interception, and I thought we were going to be out with some good field position, but we weren't because of a penalty. And really, I was trying to make sure that they didn't get the ball back because they had all 3 of their timeouts and they got the ball to start the second half. And so at that point, I believe it was 28-7. And, they had just driven it into the red zone. We had gotten the turnover. So if we were to do something and give them the ball back and them get a chance to score, then they would start with the second half and the game would be over. I thought if we could go 3 and out and score, cut it to 14, and then see how it played out, which is exactly how it played. Look, I get it. Everybody's got opinions on how to play the game out, but strategically, I didn't think with 30 minutes left to go in the game, of playing time to go in the game, to put ourselves in jeopardy by, a turnover, which we'd already committed to. or something, or let them call timeouts, because they called a timeout, if I remember right, on third down. We had to convert in order to not give them the ball back. So that's a strategy thing. I understand people are upset with it, but it's how you try to win.
You guys did cut it to 14 in the second half.
Twice, right?
You mentioned that long third down. I know one play doesn't ever seal a game, but did that kind of feel like the moment got away there?
No, because we had a chance. We had to drive the very next drive, and just didn't execute. Tried to take a shot on first down, then second down had a negative play, and then third down tried to run the ball. So, I mean, we were still in the game. Obviously, you'd like to have stopped them on 3rd and 18, but
How hard is it? I know there's a lot of issues you mentioned, but the rushing defense, when they're averaging 6.5, 7 yards per carry, that's kind of, is that where it has to start? Is that about square one when it comes to being able to have a chance in these games?
yeah. I mean, it starts with not turning the ball over in the first quarter and letting them get 14 points off turnovers. I mean, that's where it starts. And yeah, I mean, we got to do a better job stopping the run, but I think if we're not going to stop the run, we got to be much better on third down, and that was really our Achilles heel tonight. We had 2, third downs on PIs that I can remember right off the top of my head. We had, 2 third and over 15, 1 3rd and 15 in the first half that they rushed up, ran the counter play and got a touchdown, and then that 3rd and 18 right there in the third quarter. So I think third downs, we got to improve there.
Eli, during a bye week, do you rely more so on going back and watching just the Texas A&M game, or do you go even further back than that?
No. I mean, it's a heavy work week for the staff, because you got to self-scout who you are, what's the problems, where do you got to get fixed, who keeps attacking you the same ways, and then we got to recruit. We got to recruit. Got to recruit, and then we got to get ready for Vanderbilt.
Eli, when you're recruiting, what are you saying about this season right now to the guys, and what are you telling them?
Yeah, it's part of the building process. 100%. This is part of the building process at Mizzou. Look, I realized maybe last year we probably overachieved, and so everybody assumed that those expectations would meet this year. It hadn't gone that way, it just hadn't. But that's part of the process. And again, I've said this before. I wish success was always linear. It's not. There's fight. There's wrestling. There's good days and bad days, and that's what we're trying to do. I'm trying to establish a culture. Trying to recruit great players, and we can't skip steps. And I would have liked to, and I thought maybe we could have, and maybe I got the fan base too excited and thought maybe we could skip that step, but we can't. We can't skip a step, and we're still fighting. I thought today, the first quarter was unacceptable, but I thought the fight that our team showed was good, and that's what I tell recruits. Our team's fighting. We got to continue to recruit at a high level. And we got to get some, continue to develop the players that we have and continue to reinforce them with new recruits. And there's plenty of opportunities for those guys that we're reinforcing.
Sounds like you're good with the locker room then. These guys, they may be a little disappointed in the record, but.
I mean, is that a question? I mean, I don't know.
Well, I'm just, look at 3-4 now, and, it's maybe a little disappointing, record-wise right now. But
Absolutely. Yeah, nobody's happy with the record. Nobody's happy with the record. Nobody's in there patting themselves on the back. Being 3-4, I get it. Absolutely, we're all disappointed.
But you mentioned the fight. I mean,
Yeah.
is it more than what you saw from a couple games ago with Tennessee?
Yeah, I'm not going to retrace the steps of weeks past. Like, I'm going to focus on what we've got right now and then focus on moving forward. I can't go back in time. I can look at it, but I mean, if the question is how's the locker room doing, I think the locker room is fighting. I mean, they're disappointed, absolutely. Nobody likes to lose. Nobody likes to be called out about losing. All the blame needs to fall on my shoulders. That's my job, and I've got to do a much better job. But the locker room's fine. One of the key ingredients for not getting a holding call, and we had several of those. Pass interference, you got to, when their hands go up, you got to get your eyes around when the ball's in the air. You can't put hands on a wide receiver when, you're trying to knock the ball out. So those are techniques and fundamentals, and if you don't do them properly, then you get penalized.
At any point, either after the early interceptions or late in the fourth quarter, did you consider giving another guy a shot behind center, or if not, why not?
No, Connor's our quarterback. I think he gives us the best chance to win. It's not always going to be perfect. He's going to get a lot of blame. He's going to get, but there's a lot of things that have to improve, and he knows he's going to have to improve from today's performance. But I'm not, I wouldn't